Bitcoin is not the end goal, it is just the beginning. Most people think Bitcoin is just about getting rich, but it's not. Bitcoin is the first proof that we can build on systems that nobody else controls. And once you prove that it's possible with money, you can do it with everything. Stick with me because this video is actually a lot bigger than just crypto. So, why is money everything? Think about every major decision in your life: a job, a home, starting a business, or just simply sending money around, like even sending money to your family. Every single one of those things flow through money. Money is the pipeline that value moves through, and whoever controls that pipeline controls a massive amount of power. For centuries, banks, governments, and corporations owned that pipeline. They decided who could use it, who got cut off, and what the rules were. If the money layer is broken or corrupt, everything built on top of it gets distorted too. So fixing the money is just not about your wallet. It's about the root of how the world actually works. What is the blockchain? Before Bitcoin, sending money digitally always needed a bank in the middle to keep the records. That bank's database is actually just a spreadsheet. They write down who has what and etc. And you just trust them, right? But Bitcoin replaced that spreadsheet with something called the blockchain. Think of the blockchain like a notebook, but thousands of people all hold a copy of the notebook at the same time. Every time a transaction happens, it gets written into the notebook. Every single copy updates at the same time, and nobody can go back and erase a page. It's not stored in one place, it's stored everywhere through the Bitcoin nodes that run it. So not a single person, company, or government owns that notebook. And if someone tries to cheat and change a page, everybody else's copy immediately exposes the lie. So the blockchain is a record that nobody owns, but everybody can verify. And that changes everything. So what did Bitcoin actually prove, right? Before Bitcoin, people assumed money needed a boss, a bank, a government, or a company. Someone always had to be in charge. But Bitcoin proved that wrong for the first time in history. A financial network ran for 17 years with no CEO, no headquarters, no owner, and nobody could stop it. That's the real breakthrough, not just the dollar denominated price. So the price side is just a side effect of people like realizing what that actually means. So Bitcoin is actually a proof of concept. If we could do this with money, we could do this with anything. So what is the bigger pattern here, right? Once something becomes digital, trackable, and trustable without a middleman, you get to build more on top of it. The real shift kind of introduced Bitcoin is like from a trust us system to you can verify it yourself. The idea that you can spread into every system that runs our lives, right? Like voting is currently owned by governments, medical records, like the pipeline of your health is currently owned by these hospitals, like music royalties. These are owned by record labels. Land ownership for your property rights are currently owned by courts and the bureaucrats. Even your identity, the pipeline of who you are, is currently owned by corporations. Who control these IDs? Who makes these IDs? Right? Who makes these passports and etc. So all of these pipelines, and Bitcoin proved the pipeline can be neutral. So what comes next after that? Bitcoin itself doesn't do this. But that's not even the point. The point is that Bitcoin showed us the blueprint for building systems that are harder to corrupt. The next generation of builders is actually using that blueprint, right? First you fix the money, then you build the rest of the stack on top of it, right? Think of like the internet. The email came first, then social media, then streaming, then everything else. So Bitcoin is kind of the email moment for value and trust on the internet. We are extremely early in figuring out what gets built next. Like, why should you even care about Bitcoin even if you never buy it, right? Most people think this Bitcoin is only matters to you if you invest. But the truth is, it's about value, trust, and ownership that works online for everyone. No borders, no governments, no middlemen. Every time a system becomes neutral and open, it creates a new wave of opportunities. Like the internet made information free to move. to read certain content before, you'd have to go to libraries, read newspapers. But once the internet came, dude, everybody got all the content they wanted, right? So Bitcoin also does that for money. Bitcoin makes value almost free to move, right? That affects everybody who earns, saves, creates, and votes and owns anything on this planet. Like, you don't even need to have Bitcoin to be affected of like what is happening. So now we know Bitcoin was not the finish line. It was just the first building block. Once you fix the base layer, you can start building something better on top of it. Like, this is not just a story of a digital currency, an online coin. It is the beginning of the internet of value. Like, we are still in chapter 1. Like, we're just flipping through these pages, bro. We're in chapter 1. We might even be in like page 5, page 3. It's that early. So if you made it this far in this video, comment blockchain. And like, I read every single comment. So if you have any questions about anything I talked about in today's video, drop them down below and I'll answer them personally. And if you learned something today, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on my next videos. Also, comment down below about other Bitcoin topics you want me to cover next. I want to make videos that you actually want to watch. See you in the next one.